A North Carolina DOT engineer is pleading guilty to charges for importing and selling around 2,500 counterfeit airbags. Prosecutors say Mateen Alanagian bought the steering wheel airbags into the U.S. from a distributor in the U.K. Homeland Security investigation revealed many of them had fake logos on them from several auto brands. And they say he sold these fake counterfeits under fake names on Facebook Marketplace. And that exactly how many are out there or potentially installed in cars, that is unknown. Testing of the airbag shows they malfunction frequently. And let's talk to Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes here. Potential, if there's any issues here, if someone does get hurt with one of these faulty fake airbags, what happens here?
Well, I mean, it can go a number of ways, but let me start with this, Brian. I will buy a lot of stuff off of Marketplace. One thing I can rest assured I'm not buying is an airbag. I'm pretty sure I need that. That's the most important thing I can have in a vehicle. I get an accident. I don't want something random to happen. I kind of want to make sure that it comes from the manufacturer.
But you can also buy anything on there.
You can. I just didn't even know that was a thing. But what I'll say is that it can go a different way. Obviously, you have the criminal component with them pleading guilty to this, but you also have the civil component. If someone has damages from this, specifically you get in an accident, the airbag doesn't go off, yes, he can be connected. If they can track that to the cell, then yeah, he can be connected. But remember, I always mention, when you're talking about bringing a lawsuit against someone, you're talking about people that you want to figure out where the biggest pockets are. If this individual is selling counterfeit airbags on a marketplace, he probably doesn't have deep pockets. I mean, they talked about the number that are out there, but I doubt that if a potential lawsuit would come towards him, that there would be any opportunity to get a payout. You just have a default judgment in hand, not getting any potential payout from an individual that's already mounting legal costs.
So a judge could toss out the guilty plea if someone does get hurt by this.
Well, any plea can be tossed out. So let's go here. The judge has to accept the plea. So that's the first part. But then after that, it could have conditions connected with it. There could be strings attached, and it didn't talk about it in there. But one of the things could be if we find for folks in the future that there could be some type of liability as we go forward. But that is all speculation in terms of what else is out there, because we don't know. I mean, they know how many he brought in. They know how many were sold, but what they don't know is how many were counterfeit. They don't know how many actually were working. And so that is the problem, because he is not charged with selling airbags. He's charged with selling counterfeit airbags. So they have to chalk and know two things: that the person is in possession of an airbag and in possession of a counterfeit. So there will be a multiple, and you won't know that. If you've installed this airbag, you're probably looking and saying, hey, I think I bought it from him. The first thing you want to do is probably check and see if the airbag is an illegal.
And that's going to cost you money just to even go have it checked.
It is. Yeah. Money that you may not be getting back. But I mean, if we're balancing cost versus safety, I'm going to go with safety over cost all day. And so that's the recommendation that I would have if I'm advising dealing with this. But then I'd also recommend contacting the Attorney General's office and figuring out where you go from here, because at some point there has to be recourse to make sure that you can recoup the cost that you've paid to get them fraudulently installed, or counterfeit, I should say, installed airbags installed in your vehicle.
Good advice. If you did go buy one of these airbags off of Facebook Marketplace, go have it checked out just in case, and also contact the Attorney General here for the state. All right, Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes, thanks.